I want to start right off with, in my eyes, a very underrated card, and I guess that's because there's kind of a misconception here that Destiny Hero Plasma can only be played in a hero deck, but actually he only needs 3 monsters as a tribute to special summon. So no hero, no whatever, just 3 monsters, and then as a tribute, offer 3 monsters as a tribute, and then you can special summon him. So basically, it's easy. Of course, he works best in the hero deck because is more accessible through the hero archetype. But nevertheless, you can also search Destiny Hero Plus of your Chaos space by just discarding a light monster, and because he's level 8, you can search him via Chaos space. So basically, very generic actually. And this card is insane. I guess some of you are probably familiar with it. This is basically skill drain, but only for your opponent. And it's also kind of relinquished and Thousand Eyes restrict. You can steal an opponent's monster and equip it to Destiny Hero Plasma as a continuous spell card, and Plasma gains half of the ATK of that equipped monster. So, for example, your opponent has Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, which can be some pain in the ass, or your opponent has Crusadia Aphromax, which is very hard to out nowadays or at the current format. Then you just special summon Plasma, skill drain for your opponent, then Aphromax can be targeted because he has no effect. Then you target with Plasma Aphromax, equip Aphromax to Destiny Hero Plasma, he gains 1500 ATK on top, and your opponent has no monster effects anymore. So he has to negate the summon. Alright, it's not an activated effect or whatever, the skill drain effect of Plasma. He has to negate the summon. If he doesn't negate the summon, he's pretty much doomed, because, Plasma hits the board and its effect is immediately on the field. It's not that something must be activated, and also his summoning condition is not the effect or whatever, it just summons. So Destiny Plasma, in my eyes, very underrated. You definitely should give it a try. No one is expecting that for sure. Alright, let's get on with the next card. Spell card, Material Network. Also, don't see that very often, and I don't know actually why people don't play that that often. It's working best in the Xyz deck. Material Network says you can activate one of those following effects. Either you target one monster you control, then you can summon one monster with the same level as special summon from your hand or the grave in defense position, but its effects are negated. And if you do that, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Xyz monsters. But if you play a Xyz deck, then that doesn't matter. Or the second effect is you can target one Xyz monster you control, and then you can add one of that materials from that Xyz monster back to your hand. So this is actually both effects are very good, but the second effect is also very nice. Let's say, for example, you used your combo starter to make a Xyz monster, and you want your combo starter back to do it over again in the next turn. So you summon your Xyz monster, play a Material Network, and add your combo starter back to your hand. And also, of course, if somehow your opponent interrupted your plays, and you have only one level 4 monster on the field, and you have no other way to get a second level 4 monster, you activate Material Network, and you can special summon another monster with the same level, and you can go again in your Xyz plays. So in my eyes, this is absolute must-have actually for any Xyz deck. It's very good, and it's permanent spell, so you can use these effects over and over again, except your opponent of course destroys it. So Material Network, give it a shot. Also very nice card, and in my eyes a little bit overseeing this card. Next card, yeah, this always gets a bad surprise. XX Ausschluss. I'm not quite sure about the English translation for that. This says, trap counterspell. This says if your opponent activates any monster effect in his hand, you can negate that monster effect with this trap card, and if you do that, if he has still cards in his hand, he has to discard one card of his choice. So basically this is kind of out against any hand trap, against Ash Blossom or whatever, or Nibiru or whatever, and on top he loses one hand card. You have to be a little bit careful with that card. If your opponent relies heavily on effects that activate in the grave, or monsters that need to be in the grave, this can be a little bit in favor for your opponent, this card, but nevertheless it's a nice negate for any hand trap, and as I said before, no one is expecting that either. So the best way is you negate his monster effect and he has to discard a card. So, next thing, one of the most recent cards, the Double Hook, I guess, was it? Double Hook, yes, the English name. This card is very versatile. You can basically do anything with that. Double Hook says you have to discard one card, and then you can target up to 2 monsters in your graveyard, and you can special summon them, just like that. And if either of these special summoned monsters or this card, if Double Hook leaves the field, all other cards leaves also the field, or all the monsters that get destroyed. So that's the only downside. So what to do with it? What's also very nice, it says you can activate this card if you discard one card. So that's your activation costs. So that means you can also then special summon the monster. If you have discarded a monster, the monster you have discarded for its effect activation, you can special summon even that again back onto your field with one other monsters. And it also says up to 2 monsters, so you don't have to. So up to 2 monsters, you can also special summon only one. So very nice, Double Hook. And with the monsters, you can do anything. You know, you can special summon a tuner and a non-tuner. You can special summon 2 monsters with the same level to go into Xyz's place. You can just special summon any monster to go into Link place. You can, you can use the monsters for a tribute summon. You can just attack with them, whatever you want. Double Hook, also very underrated. Try it out. Fits in almost every deck. It's nice that Konami releases cards that can be combined with any kind of deck. So Double Hook, try it out. So, and the next thing, very evil card. Probably it's not that of a unknown card. Masterregelung. They changed the English name in some, I don't know, weenie name, like for the school kids. The original name is Manhunt, and I prefer that name. Let's call it Manhunt and not the pussy name, whatever it was. Manhunt. Very simple. Also, it's almost like Change of Heart, but permanent. You can basically steal opponent's monster and take control of it as long as this card is face up on the field. Well, the only downside is the monster cannot activate its effects and it cannot attack. That's the only downside, but I think the current format or the current play, if your opponent summons his combo starter, for example, your opponent summons, I don't know, Aluba, say Aluba, alright? So you have then, he summons Aluba, and you negate its effects via Effect Wailer, alright? Or any combo starter. You negate the effect with Effect Wailer. Well, then he has still the monster. He can still use the monster for a Link summon or for a Synchro summon or whatever, So I don't say that negates are bad, of course not, but in comparison, stealing our opponent's monster and take everything from him, everything that he could do with that monster, except in comparison to only negate it, it's much more powerful to steal your opponent's monster, and so he has never access to it again. You know what I mean? So Manhunt, also very nice. Yeah, that's a pretty overseen card. A little surprise card. Lord of the Red. You maybe think now, what the hell is going on? Why does he show us that shit cards? Well, this is not a shit card. I don't know if you ever have read through that. It says you can ritual summon this card with Red as Transmigration. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, except Lord of the Red quick effect, you can target one monster in the field, destroy it. Just like that. Once per turn, when a card effect is activated, except Lord of the Red quick effect, you can target one spell trap on the field, destroy it. So this is every turn, basically, if any effect gets activated, you can destroy one monster and one spell or trap. Every turn. It's level 8, so very easy access to it. With, of course, you need the ritual cards, the ritual spell, Red Eyes Transmigration. Works, of course, best in Red Eyes decks, but also can be used in any deck that plays level 8 monsters. For example, even in a Chaos Max String, in a Blue Eyes Chaos Max String, he's also level 8. If you already run the Ritual Engine, why don't play Lord of the Red? It's very powerful. In my eyes, it's extremely powerful and so underrated. No one sees that coming. And in every turn, as quick effect, destroy a monster and destroy a spell trap. That's very strong for just an easy Ritual 8 level 8 monster. So we go on with also a little bit a card that lost its way into the game. That's Track Black. Yes. Track Black. Well, you may think, what is that again? Well, this has a very specific use in combination with the Ultimate Contactor Tyranno. Why? Because he says you just needs 2 effect monsters, so easy to summon. You can one target one monster you control, and that this card is pointing to, so this way. Then every time if that monster that Track Black points to destroys a monster through battle, you can draw 1 card. And as you know, Ultimate Contactor Tyranno can attack all monsters your opponent controls once. So every time, basically every time he destroys a monster, you can draw a card through him. So this doesn't only work with the Ultimate Contactor Tyranno. This works with every card that can attack all your monsters at least once. So. And that's very powerful, if you have a full board and you have Conductor Tyranno and you attack, you can draw 5 cards. And I guess I don't have to explain any more about it, that drawing 5 cards in 1 turn is pretty OP. So give it a try it out with your Dano decks or with other deck that attacks multiple times. You will definitely profit through Track Black. And the last card is a very old card. Very old card. It's Phantom of Chaos. Yes, Phantom of Chaos. Why is this one here? This can basically win you also the game. Phantom of Chaos is normal summon, level 4 dog, and if it's normal summon it, and of course if all the battle damage is reduced to 0 through fights with Phantom of Chaos. But once per turn, you can target 1 effect monster in your graveyard and you can banish it from your graveyard. And until the end phase, Phantom of Chaos becomes the name and the effect of the monster, and it also gains the ATK of the banished monster. So, for example, let's combine that again with Destiny Plasma. Alright, you have Plasma in grave, you play Phantom of Chaos, banish Plasma. Phantom of Chaos is Plasma, so skill drain for your opponent, and you can steal one of your opponent's monster and attach to it to Phantom of Chaos. So for normal summon, in combination with the right cards, this is very, very powerful. And of course, you can use that with any monster, with any broken card. You can, for example, you can banish your Winged Dragon of Ra Immortal Phoenix, which is unaffected by card effects, and you can play 1000 life points to send any monster to the grave. The slide version maybe not that of a good option. Blue-Eyes Chaos Max Dragon is also not, you cannot take battle damage is to 0, but you get the idea, you know. Very versatile dog attribute. Give it a try, you know, for a bad surprise and for some fun decks or road decks. Everyone's like, what the hell is going on now? No one knows what that does, you know. You don't see that often. Mostly of the cards you don't see them very often. Yeah, that was just an example, but use that to your advantage, you know. Yeah, think about it. Yeah, these were 8 cards. 8 cards? Yes. Yeah. 8 cards. Probably no one is consider playing them, despite they are actually very good. Let me know what you think about them. If you have any suggestions or any tips or something I could do better, I would highly appreciate it if you let me know that in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.